How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely much appreciated. I'm actually back here on the, we'll say, Rabbit River. I love coming up here and fishing this time of year. But what I'm seeing too, due to the really heavy snows that happened this last winter, this river is definitely higher than it was last year. Maybe I should have waited a couple more weeks and let it drop down a little bit more, but I'm in here now, and that's what's happened. So I should have got here a little bit sooner today. There's a little bit of there's some stuff that really kind of delayed me to get up here. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon right now. I still got plenty of sunlight and fish a lot this evening, but all I can say is women, they can't live without them, and it's kind of frowned upon if you kick them into a fast-moving river. So I'm here now, and we're gonna see what today brings. This is basically day 1 of 3. I'll be camping here tonight and tomorrow night and fishing different sections of this river. I fished this section of the river last year, and I wanted to head downriver further, but the water's really high, and the bushes behind me are really thick, and I just don't really feel like absolutely bushwhacking it. I'm gonna do a 180. You kind of see upriver. So we're gonna start upriver again, see what happens. I only brought one rod with me down in here right now. I've got more rods at my truck. I've got a dry dropper set up. Basically got the same setup that I was using a couple weeks ago. Basically a foam stonefly imitation, big hopper imitation, trailered by a beadhead zebra midge with a black body. And I'm hoping to just change up that dropper and put on another dry fly and see what happens. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to turn on that notification bell. If you got any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section. Otherwise, let's get to fishing. Oh, there we go. First fish in the fast water, not what I want. First couple of casts actually. Need this fish to come up river to me. Put that rod down. Tip almost in the river. Hopefully I get him up to me. This is not looking good. Really not looking good for me. Especially if he gets under that log. I may have just lost him. I think I still feel him on there. Yeah. I flossed him. He missed the stimulator. Kind of dragging him in. Surprised I got this fish in. That beadhead nymph right on the top of his head. Flossed him with the bottom fly. Not even going to touch him. Should be good. Gone. I didn't have him out of the water long. Fish will be all right. First fish of the day. First just a few minutes of fishing. This river's really moving pretty quick. It's gonna be hard to cross it. I really would have liked to have gone on that left side of the bank and work the left side up, since I'm right-handed. I just saw a stonefly land in a bush, so I know there's stoneflies. And shit. Fuck. Really? The things that happen. I saw that bush and I still end up putting it up into there. Crap. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for tuning in, everybody, and also a good morning. Well, at least a good morning for me. It's about a little after. It's like 8:15 in the morning right now. Insects are starting to move in the air, and hopefully fish are going to be looking up for dry flies today. I'm going to start off with a double dry fly setup, kind of a stone fly, dry fly, foam body, and then I'll probably put a caddis on. A caddis that I found a couple weeks ago, and see if I can catch more fish on it, because that's always fun for me when I find flies in bushes and use them and catch fish. So I'm gonna start off with that. This is where I'm at. I've actually come further down river from where I started yesterday and from where I ended up yesterday. Where I ended up yesterday, I went further up river from where I started, and it was just tough dealing with wind and all that. And you know, sometimes that's what fishing is, so you just got to deal with the conditions. But beautiful morning right now. I'm gonna show the river behind me, kind of the valley up river, kind of scan back down, and it goes that way. This is another branch of the river, and there's the main river's a little bit further to the left of what you see over my left shoulder right now. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you got any comments or questions, please feel free to do so. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this is day 2 of me being up here, and we're gonna see what we can catch today. So without further ado, let's go hunt some trout. There we go. Oh, took the bottom ply. Not as big as the first, but hey, I'll take it. Another little brownie. Flies out. Go get bigger, buddy. Well, everybody, where I started fishing today, I caught 2 fish there, and I haven't had much luck since. But I didn't fish in that area all that long. I decided to move up river, and this is where I'm at now, in just like this beautiful meadow area. Water's definitely higher than what it was like last year in here, which is really good to see, high water. But also the wind right now is just really difficult to deal with. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've had some really big gusts of wind come through, and throwing this kind of dry dropper setup is not very easy right now. And I'm gonna kind of fish a little bit more through this section, and I may have to just change things up. You got to be somewhat flexible sometimes, and probably start throwing streamers, a big heavy streamer, and just to cut through the wind and not have to worry about presentation. I'm not seeing any fish rising up here right now. I haven't had any fish take the dropper either, so it is what it is sometimes when fly fishing. And weather definitely takes, weather can really change things up on you. It's a beautiful day. It's, very clear, some scattered clouds. Water's beautiful, nice and clear water. But this wind right now is just super difficult to deal with. I've switched now to a streamer rod. This fish was sitting right on the bank. Actually, I think it missed the fly. This is going to be fun to get him in. But he definitely, oh, come on. Oh, and that's, well, long distance release.
I didn't have him in the mouth, so I couldn't steer his head. It's like bringing in a kite backwards, you know, sideways in water. Not easy. He was sitting right through there, you know, right off, basically in the bank. You know, there's like a little undercut on that bank.
Well, everybody, this was a pretty short video if I keep it just by itself. I may connect this with day 2. I only landed 2 fish. I hooked into another fish on a streamer. The wind is still blowing right now, but definitely not as bad. Finally, it's calmed down. The last few hours have been really windy up here, and throwing dry flies and all that just wasn't going to happen. Maybe I should have tried throwing some nymph rod indicator setup, but I didn't do that. I was throwing streamers. I did have some other strikes, but yeah, this is a pretty slow day for me today, only landing 2 fish. I can't believe it. I'm right in a section. I'm gonna kind of do a 180. It's pretty sunset up there, but right behind me, that straightaway, I've been in here where there's been quite a few fish rising, a small caddis hatch going, and a really tiny midge coming off the water, and fish rising everywhere. So I've been kind of just hanging out here waiting for the sun to go down and see if fish start rising. I've been in here basically until I couldn't see anymore, and fish were still rising, but that is not happening today. I haven't seen any fish rise, and that insect hatch is definitely not as big as it was when I was in here last year. It probably is due to the higher water, or who knows what, and water temperature too. So again, thanks for tuning in and watching this video. You know, hey, we all have days like this sometimes where we don't catch as many fish as we would really like or expect to catch. I at least landed 2 fish, better than no fish, and still an absolutely beautiful day up in here. And I'm going to start heading back to my camp and get a campfire going so I can heat up my food that I brought, which I'll just be putting, you know, I've got it wrapped in foil. Some of these trips I like just going really lightweight, not taking a stove. I ended up going to a barbecue place near where I'm at called Serious Texas Barbecue, and I got a pound of brisket. So I got about a ½ pound brisket for tonight and another ½ pound of brisket for tomorrow, and they're separately wrapped in foil packets, and I just throw that right next to the fire. So I think it's beer 30 pretty much right about now, once I get back to my camp and start making a fire and heating up my food, like I said. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be fishing a different section tomorrow, and you know, hopefully fishing's better tomorrow. But that's fishing sometimes. Just got to get out on the water and see what happens.
I'm gonna put a dropper on where I am. I'm gonna put the dropper on. Jeez, I haven't seen any fish rise despite there being quite a few caddis on the water. That's it. Change the setup. Recording, I guess. Got a little distracted. Just go and get my streamer on. Definitely healthy. Not gonna make it. There's another fly. They're in the air. Oh, really? Big stoneflies fucking everywhere. Nothing's coming up. Yeah. Half. Oh, of course. That's not going to be easy to get over there. Jeez. I've seen fish rise over there. First fish I've seen rise all day. And this water is definitely moving quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over there or in the middle, make a decent cast. I gotta undo my line. Really? It happens. I don't even understand. I'm done, dude. I am so fucking done. Well, everybody, I was expecting to have, I was expecting to upload 3 separate videos of being up here in this area, and it may just be one upload. I'm really been thinking of just packing my camp and heading home today. Today's a Saturday. I got here yesterday. I only caught 2 fish yesterday, and I've only caught 1 fish today. I saw one area that had some fish rising, and I didn't have my dry fly rod with me. I had a streamer rod because I went back to my truck and dropped off that dry dropper, set up my dry fly rod, and got the streamer rod because I had no luck throwing that dry dropper. Saw no fish rising, and of course when I got upriver, then I saw a spot that had fish rising. When I got back up to that spot, the fish had stopped rising, and I haven't seen it. That's the only area today I have seen fish rising, and I've only caught the 1 fish today on kind of a stonefly foam body imitation, and I'm really just thinking of calling it and heading home. I can't believe it. There's definitely lots of insects in the air, especially down in this section. Lots of different stoneflies, big ones and small ones. They've been crawling all over me. And the other thing too that's absolutely crazy, like where that log is, I was coming down river, and I could have sworn I saw somebody right there. They had a hoodie on, and I saw him kind of look down, and I saw movement. And then when I got to that area, just, less than a minute later, no one was there. Super kind of spooky. I'm not leaving on that, but that just kind of weirded me out a few minutes ago. And because I totally was expecting to talk to somebody right there and actually let them know that right in this area where I'm standing, a couple that I saw out here, they had a couple dogs with them. And I saw them downriver from me, and when I went back to my truck to get my streamer rod, I heard either both of their dogs or at least one of their dogs really barking. Sounded kind of like a seal. They had a couple of little small dogs. And when I got back to the river, they mentioned that they saw a mountain lion. So I was going to talk to whoever I saw right here on the river, but I guess it's nobody or something, or someone's a ghost, or I don't know. That was super weird. I know for sure it wasn't that log because I saw the log in the river, and it is somebody with a hoodie on, and looked down. I saw movement. Super weird. So, but again, thanks for tuning in. Wish this video was longer. I'm really wondering if I should just, I guess I'll still upload this footage. Some days or sometimes when you come out, it's really not, the fishing's not like what you're expecting it. And this is the slowest and the least amount of fish I have ever caught up in this area before. The water is definitely higher than it was last year, which is good to see more water. And the water is colder, so that's definitely probably playing a big part into why the fishing is not as good as it was last year. And I've really had to come up this weekend because I've got to get my truck into the shop, and it's going to be there for, you know, probably at least 2 or 3 weeks, and I got to get it ready to drop off at the shop in about a week. And I couldn't come up to this area next weekend. I really wanted to come up in more of mid-July, and this is very early July, so you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And I've done a lot to try and catch fish, except just throwing a nymphing setup, indicator setup. I've thrown streamers, I've changed up colors of streamers, I've changed lots of flies, dry dropper type stuff, and it's just not working out for me. And I got a stonefly right there on my face, or my edge of my hoodie. Yeah, I've been having stoneflies, you know, fly by me, crawl on me, caddisfly hatch, big huge mayfly hatch, and just no fish. I've hardly seen any fish rising except that one section I was talking about a moment ago. So I'm probably going to head back and break my camp down, and there's a couple spots that I'm going to try and fish on the way back home and just see if there's fish in them. And it's really smaller creeks, and one of them super tiny, but I've always wondered if there's fish in it. And we're going to see what happens with that. But as of right now, I'm kind of done with this area. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. And if I get more footage, I may just tack it on to the end of what I'm talking about right now. So otherwise, I'm heading back to my truck, breaking down my camp. Yeah, because I just don't want to fight. You know, it's only like 1:30 right now in the afternoon. I started fishing at about 8:30, and I should have caught a lot more fish. Oh well, it is what it is sometimes. It's fishing, and it ain't called catching. So the fish were not as willing to take any of my flies. I sure hiked in a lot and moved around a lot, and definitely was on the hunt for fish, but oh well.